Hello. Welcome back to Ghostlight RPGs presents The Green Room. I am your host, Justin Barron. My pronouns are he, him. And with me today, I have a very special guest. I have Jess. Cue Jess, go. What's up, Jess?
I'm up. I'm here.
You're up.
Mostly caffeinated.
Yeah.
Mostly caffeinated. That's what I said. Yeah. Hi, I'm Jess. Pronouns they, she.
Yes. I have it underneath your little frame there. Sorry for the delay, everybody. I had some Spotify issues tonight. So hopefully you can hear the music, because we've done this in the past without music, and it is awkward. I just refuse to do it without music anymore. Oh no, you can't.
Where are we?
You can't see us? Can anybody else not see us?
I see us.
Are you on Twitch? You see us, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay.
I switched over. After the chat popped out, but oh no, we've broken everything.
Let me double check. Seriously, everything seemed to be going wrong tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if something is screwy, but maybe just like hop off and hop back on, Kate, and see if that helps. Anyway, while you're troubleshooting that, I've been troubleshooting things all the last like half hour. I don't know what happened. My computer just decided to putz out on me tonight.
Wow, a holiday, but you didn't give it a time off.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask, because Jess, you are a Twitch aficionado.
Yes.
And
I guess, apparently.
Well, compared to me.
Don't let the pod mic fool you. I have no idea what I'm doing.
No, you got the whole setup. You're affiliated. You're killing it. It's fantastic. Talk to me about your Twitch journey. How long were you streaming? How long have you been streaming?
Yeah. I've only actually been streaming since like mid-February of this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I've been like on and off the internet for like the last decade or so.
Yeah.
I used to have a YouTube channel. I still have it. It's still there. It exists. Most of it has been vaporized.
By yourself or
by myself?
Was it like
a little
the
bit
government had to shut you down because you were just getting too real?
Yeah, I was getting too saucy on there. And so, and then eventually I stopped doing that. I moved to Seattle from San Diego. About, how long has it been? Like 4 or 5 years ago. And ever since then, I just stopped making videos. But then this year, I finally started streaming. And like that's where, I mean, really, this is my only like Twitch investment. This and a Stream Deck, because everything else is just like rigged stuff from when I used to make YouTube videos. Yeah. So I think that's where I sort of ended up looking like I know what I'm doing way more than I actually am.
And look, appearance is everything, especially on Twitch. So I think you're doing great. You looked very successful from where I'm sitting. That's great. I had no idea you just started on Twitch in February. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. We started Ghostlight so right at the beginning of the pandemic, which, you know, when I say it like that, it shouldn't be that long
years ago,
but
right?
It feels like a long ass time ago. Yeah. What happened?
About 18 years ago? Yeah.
18 years ago.
Also a decade ago, yes.
Yeah. But when we first started, we weren't really doing it hardcore by any means, and we were streaming once a week, just one show. Mm-hmm. And, but through that, we ended up getting affiliated, which was awesome. And then that kind of helped us grow. And then we kind of decided to try to do more than just one show at a time. And then that kind of helped take things off a little bit. And yeah, it was really going strong for a while earlier this year. And then everybody kind of got back to like life, and the team kind of slipped back into like their everyday life, which, I mean, of course, that's how you have to do it. And so streaming 3 times a week became much more hard And so now we're here, and now I'm just trying to
make Spotify work.
I'm trying to make Spotify work. I don't know how to. I'm surprisingly bad at this, or rather, just new to this. Even having done it for a year and a half. So, you know, like I said, appearance is everything, and that's the last I'll talk about that. From now on, I'm gonna look like I know what I'm doing.
No, everything here is totally up to code.
Up to code. Nothing to see
No,
here. So that's
not a
interesting.
bug, it's a
What did you do on YouTube?
I mostly talked about like representation in media, being a person with short hair who by a lot of society standards shouldn't have short hair.
Okay.
That was like my bread and butter for a long time. I tried to like venture into other things, but people really only wanted me to talk about the queer stuff.
Yeah.
So anytime I tried to do anything else, they're like, eh.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, you again, you know, our relationship is very new, and so I don't like, I haven't had a huge chance to get to know you a ton, but for just from what I've seen, your personality obviously speaks to this kind of entertainment, and I can totally picture you having a successful YouTube page, is what I'm trying to say. So that's awesome. I also tried YouTube around the same time that I started Twitch, actually, right when the pandemic started, and I was doing like digital art on there. But
Nice.
I gave up after about 4 videos because the time it takes to edit a video, especially with like my art and then also like me talking, I was putting so much time in. I just stopped. I got like, it was too much, and then I stopped, and then I have never put anything else up there. But I think that's why I came to Twitch and like did Twitch more, because I'm like, I'd rather just do it live. I don't want anything to be edited. Right. I don't have time to like go and, you know, scroll through a whole video after like another 4 hours afterward, like looking for the golden nuggets.
It's just all on the table. It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. You know? Who cares? Yeah, Kate, go check it out on YouTube.
Oh, no. It's all the same. I've had the same name for way too long.
So have I. Mine's Nerd Nachos. Yours is Q Jess Go. There we go. You know where to find us. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had some fun stuff on there, Kate, that I think you might like. But like I said, it didn't go anywhere, unfortunately. I also tried to dip into like movie reviews, and that was I shouldn't have done that. That was too big of a bite to chew off.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't like writing.
Yeah.
I was like, I studied to be an actor to take someone else's words.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to write.
And I do enjoy writing, but I hate editing. So I also had a podcast. I don't know if you ever got into podcasting.
No, I mean, I have a pod mic, but I haven't, that's the one avenue I haven't gone down yet.
Right. I, have, we just haven't done an episode in almost a year, but we put out almost like 50 episodes of this thing, and it was called MC Who, and it was like the MCU, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But we took lesser known characters from the comics and then gave them their own movie, essentially. So we would write for them, not literally write, but like, you know, beat by beat kind of structure out what their, you know, film would look like if it was going to be in the MCU, excuse me. So that was like a lot of editing, and maybe that's where I got burnt out on it. I don't know.
I mean, burnout's pretty heckin' common. I mean, by the time I moved to Seattle, I was already pretty burnt out.
Yeah.
It went from like, you know, once a week it went from like twice a week to once a week to when I get to it, and then I moved here.
Exactly.
I moved up here with a week's notice, because I got a job here. But yeah, and then I started doing corpo work, and now I feed many machine.
Yes, I'm with you. I am there with you. Also a new thing for me.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your show. Talk to me about QJS Go. What can people find when they come to your channel?
My tagline is so affectionately, anything is a dating sim if I'm the one playing it.
Yes.
So I'll find some way to fall in love with some character or creature. I don't know. Especially when you're playing Mass Effect for the bulk of the time. I mean, I've only been streaming since February, so it's mostly just been like a BioWare stan channel. So it's been like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, because the Legendary Edition came out. I played Andromeda as my first game. Now I'm starting to dabble into other games. Like I did Stardew Valley on Sunday, but I had to add a little spice to it so it has crowd control, so people can chase me with creatures that will cause me great pain.
I saw you tweet about that the other day. I need to check that out.
I may have gotten into a bit of a death loop for a good 10 minutes there. And then later this week, I think I'm doing Life is Strange True Colors.
Oh, sick.
Because someone said that my identity was stolen because I apparently look like the main character.
Oh, yeah.
So
I was just reading about the D&D, the Critical Role ties
like
to that game. That's pretty
little
cool.
tie-in in there.
Gotta love how popular it's getting. What was I gonna ask? So yeah, Mass Effect, yeah, BioWare, that's great. When we first rated you, I guess it was back in March or April maybe, but you were playing like a daddy's simulator game, I believe.
Dream Daddy, yes.
Dream Daddy, yeah.
Daddy.
And one of the people on our team on our channel, Emma, was like obsessed with this game at the time. And so she found that you were playing it, and we were like, oh, well, let's just raid this person. They seem like they're cool. And then sure enough, it was like, I've never seen a dating sim before. I mean, like, I knew that they exist. I've never really seen it done. And so watching you was my first, and I was like, this is amazing. And I was very close to like going and just downloading it myself.
I mean, you still should. I highly recommend.
I've thought about it. Yeah, I do need a new video game to play, actually. I was just thinking this today. But yeah, was that just like something random that you found, or like for the stream, or were you like playing that before? Or?
One of my mods asked me to play it because they knew that, because I had never played an actual dating sim. I always joked about it.
Yeah.
And I mostly have played like BioWare games, and I joke that they're just dating sims with combat, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so I started playing it, and I got like really into just playing up that I'm in love with everybody there, and particularly my bro, Craig. So, yeah, Craig. We won that game. It was great. Eventually, but I think y'all rated us in the middle of me talking to like the vampire guy, the goth guy.
Yeah.
Damien. Yeah.
How do you remember that? That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was because y'all kind of made me an affiliate.
That's right. That's right. We we boosted some follows for you. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in hearing you talk about that, I love all of that, and that made me think too, though, because going back to what I was saying before about like how, our team kind of got smaller here at Ghostlight, and so there are certain things that like I get a little lost on, and like sometimes, like especially if I'm producing and also DMing, I'll get so into the story that I'll sometimes ignore the chat, and a lot of times my players will be able to kind of pick up some slack for me, but sometimes they're not really even like on Twitch or anything, so it can be tricky. I guess what I'm getting at is I really need some moderators. I need to get some mods. How have we not done this yet? I feel like we've teased it before and talked about it, but we've never done it. So I'm gonna do this. Do you just ask people?
Yeah. I mean, my two mods are two of my friends from working anime conventions.
Yeah.
Now, when I say anime conventions, I don't know anything about anime. That kind of sparks a light bulb in people's heads when I say that. Just want to throw it out there. I know nothing about anime.
Yeah.
I'm simply there as an ex-stage manager with a clipboard. But yeah, they're two of my friends. We call it the Anime Crime Family. And it seems to be like a long-standing joke that your moderators are going to be the biggest trolls imaginable. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, I already have a couple trolls that are always around, and we love them. They're lovable trolls. They're not trolls. They're just lovable. But I already know who our moderators are going to be, so that's
amazing.
Fantastic. So,
Good.
Very cool. So so Dream Daddies, you said
Multiple
Mass
daddies,
Effect.
yes.
So a lot of what you play is typically you create a character and then you play it, right? So it's role playing. So you're doing a lot of role playing on your channel, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you do like full, like when you play, do you like talk in character, or like how into it, how into character do you get?
Well, okay, so for Mass Effect, the running joke, even though like I say it's a joke as if it isn't completely real and genuine, is that it's my reputation for being so in love with Dr. Liara Tassoni from the game precedes me to the point where I have an emote. And if I'm in someone's chat and they're playing Mass Effect, they'll specifically call me out for it. So
Amazing.
And so I definitely play that up a little bit, not gonna lie. But now it started out as a joke, but now it's become like really real, where like I'll be very like, I'll get way too excited the second there's any mention of her for anything.
Where is she?
Where is she?
Yes.
Where? Hello? If
That's
we ever
fantastic.
get her voice actress at our convention, I will simply pass away. But as far as everything else goes, I tend to I don't really ever talk as the character, but I'll add some kind of bit to them, or like a small joke about who they are and why they are. But most of my games have been like, I just, oh, well, for Mass Effect Andromeda, I had a romance for all mod. So I was pretty much playing as someone who like gives all the forehead kisses to all their friends.
Okay.
So I talk in a very like bro voice. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you okay? Do you need like a forehead kiss? Are you good?
It's so good. Amazing. I am so admittedly. Oh, welcome back, Kate. I'm glad you can see us now.
Yay!
We were definitely talking about you. So,
specifically, in particular.
nearly. So I have to admit to you, when I was talking about Tales of the Public Domain, which if you're watching right now and you don't know what that is, it's our Friday night stream, our Friday night show here on Ghostlight RPGs. It just started last week, so you can go watch the VOD either on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever. But Jess plays Dr. Doolittle in this stream, which is very fun. And so when I was building kind of like the very basic structure of these, we'll call them prologues, if you will, like, the very like spotlight heavy, just we go to Dr. Doolittle, then we go to Tooth Fairy, and so on. I couldn't decide, like Johnny Appleseed, easy enough to create conflict. It's kind of a Wild West-esque, Appalachian Trail kind of world. You can create conflict there. Tooth Fairy, well, with the way that Annie built the character, it's very, easy to sword and sorcery, throw some dragon, throw whatever. Dr. Doolittle was, not surprisingly, just different in how I wanted to. I wasn't really sure how to create conflict for you. I was like, does a lion escape and you have to find it? But I'm like, why would the lion escape? You're Dr. Doolittle. You're chill.
Right.
and so I was like, so then I was like, okay, well, maybe an animal gets like taken, right? An animal gets kidnapped. And when I was trying to decide like who I wanted or whatnot, I kept going back to like thinking like, okay, well, what do I already know about Jess? Like, what do I think?
Oh no.
What do I think they'd be like into as far as like role playing goes? And I was like, I gotta throw some kind of like romance in there.
I knew it.
Want there to be a possibility of romance for Dr. Doolittle. And then it like bizarrely made sense to you. Hey, ECAT Carter, you're here. We were just talking about you.
Oh, hey. Dream Daddy for life.
Dream
Yes.
Daddy for life.
This is all you're doing. I see.
So that's where, like Jane came from really in my head. And then, I mean, this isn't to say that you have to romance her by any means.
No, I'm in.
Or that you'll even have the opportunity to. But,
I know, right?
but that I just wanted because like everybody's, character arc's built to like a climax of a sort. And I wanted yours to be something so like it wouldn't be high stakes for most people, but for a man who has like closed himself off from humanity for so long to like find this like stunning woman that he is, I don't know, just could totally work for him. So I just was like, maybe that's the climax.
Maybe.
Working through that.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I knew it.
That was
Once
the
I realized
climax
what was
of
happening.
that episode. I meant for you. Many more climaxes to go. I'm gonna stop saying climax now because it's starting to take on a different way about it.
Yeah. I might have to go.
You might need to go. Bye.
Run that right
had
into the
fun.
ground.
Thank you. Jess, your camera's still on. I can still see you there. So outside of, well, let me ask you this. We're talking about Dr. Doolittle now.
Yes.
What drew you to Dr. Doolittle as a character?
Well, at first, I had seen, I had, can I say who I had in mind before?
Please, yeah.
Yeah. So at first, I was gonna go with Robin Hood. I was like, that seems accessible to me. Cool. I'm sure I can get my two brain cells together to get that going. Yeah. But then I saw everyone else's character. I think I saw Annie's and then Puck's. And I was like, Johnny Appleseed, the Tooth Fairy. My guy's way too competent for that. Like, I can't be the smart one. No, I can't be the well-equipped one. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So I sat there and I was like, wait, who on this list would just be like the most ridiculous, not at all qualified for this job person? I was like, Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the second that made me laugh a little bit, it was over. It was done. And that's when I messaged you. I was like, help. I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah, because you originally said, like, I'm thinking Robin Hood. And I was like, cool, okay. And then we talked again like a week later. And you hit me up. And you were like, I think, like, maybe with Dr. Doolittle. And I was like, Dr. Doolittle? Is that, like, Eddie Murphy? What? And I had to go, like, look up... I was like, yeah, right, because it's based on the books, and then he talks to animals, he helps animals. Okay,
right,
cool.
I know nothing about the books.
Neither did I.
It's from the times when they don't need to be discussed, but like the basic premise of this guy who just like became so, I guess maybe not annoyed's probably not the right word, but I'm gonna say annoyed. With like talking to people because animals are so chill. I was like, that makes kind of a lot of sense, that like he just like wants to hang out with animals because they don't have drama or anything like that. Mm-hmm. They don't have, they're just living their life and having a good time at his, I guess now like little wildlife reserve.
Right.
And then also thinking of like, oh, I won't have to walk too far for this role playing because we've been in quarantine for so long. Mm-hmm. And I just tried to have my first human interaction like a month ago.
Yeah.
And it went so poorly. I was like, what am I saying? I was trying to order a drink. I was like, you do Coke? No, you have Coke. We have Coke?
Do you have Coke?
Do you have Coke?
Do you have Coke? Just whisper it to him. It takes on a whole different meaning.
What kind of Coke do you have?
That's so funny to me because yeah. So when we first started talking about Dr. Doolittle, I was reading up on the original character, and of course, with all of you, with Annie, Puck, Darrington, who will get to meet his character this week.
Excited.
I wasn't sure. Well, first of all, I wasn't really sure, like, what, like, quote unquote version of the character we were trying to like pursue here, because part of the fun of what I wanted to do with Tales of Public Domain was take iconic characters and like let you all like make them new and put a fresh take on them. And so I wasn't really sure what kind of like Dr. Doolittle you wanted to go with, and so I went and did some research as well, and there's not much, and like unless you read the books, there's really not much there except for just like weird, like, this is probably racist stuff. Yeah, like,
aggressively, yes.
like the names of the animals even in the books are, I'm not even gonna say them because I feel like they should be slurs if they're not, and I don't. So then you and I talked about it, and we basically were like, that we weren't sure if we're gonna set it in like Victorian London, like kind of where the books are set, or we ended up landing on a not quite modern world, but 1920s, basically when the books were written, but removed from all of that nonsense and problems. And then we decided to pull in a little bit of your personal like life and just set it in San Diego, or rather, unspecified California wildlife reserve
by a beach, which is California.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, in the end, I love where we came, where we got to.
Yeah.
The personalities of these animals, the way that your whole, like, jumping back and forth between you and Puck and Annie was such a shift in tone. It was fantastic. Like, Johnny, Puck had this whole, like emotional kind of, emotionally driven story with, with their brother, and then, Trixie, Annie had like a high action adventure, like let's go save people, and then yours, I don't know if you've listened, or you can hear the music while we were playing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That like kind of soft, like kind of jazz, that kind of, but it was the kind of every time we would cut back to your character and that music would come on, I would just fall in love with them over again, because I was just like, yeah, they know who they are. Like, I don't know. The music says so much about your character that it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's perfect. I'm glad you picked it.
I'm glad I found it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kevin MacLeod. All right. I feel like I had another question for you, but I just rambled on for a second. So let me. Do you anything you want to say?
Oh no, I mean, that was going to be one of my original questions. Like, what were you trying to do with Jane there at the end? I could see it in your eyes. I was like, you're trying to trap me.
Trap, invite, yeah, I'm excited to see where Dr. Doolittle ends up in the next 5 sessions. We've only got it's a mini campaign. We're only doing 6 sessions of this bad boy, and we're gonna go. We've barely scratched the surface. I'm excited for Friday, but so we're playing D&D 5e, or at least some modified version of it. You have D&D experience, right?
Yeah.
So, like, talk to me a little bit about that. When did you start playing? Like, what drew you to it? Was it somebody specific in your life who taught it to you, or?
Yeah. So, in my anime crime family, we have a lot of tabletop players. Like, my mod, you might have seen her during the stream last week, Authenticate. She has like a whole game night, and like her husband's a DM, and so they play together all the time. And through her, I got connected to like my first kind of mini campaign. It ended up being a lot shorter because it was supposed to be like a trial run for them to be a dungeon master for the first time during a summer break because they're a teacher. So naturally, once school year came around, that faded away. So that was a couple years ago, and I took it super seriously that first game. I naturally I had a tiefling, and tiefling barbarian, because they're like, Jess, let's just give you something easy to play because you look very overwhelmed. I was like, yes, yeah, thank you.
That's always a smart call. For somebody's first game, just go barbarian. Yeah.
Yeah. I hit. Cool.
Yeah.
And so, but it was all with, I think it was Dragon Heist. I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay,
and
hang
so,
on. This is fantastic because
jeez.
I'm currently running Dragon Heist for ECAT Carter and Kel Ocean and a few of the other people on the channel. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
No worries.
No spoilers though.
No, it's all good.
There's really no spoilers. I guess it's Dragon.
Yeah.
There are a few spoilers.
I don't even remember how far we got into it. I just remember almost dying the first session.
The first session, like with the
first
troll.
Session, and then one of our parties got absolutely obliterated.
Oh my gosh,
just bad calls were made. I was glad I was one of 2 new players, I think. So I was glad I wasn't the one who had to roll a new character immediately.
You were level 1s, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's honestly, I've heard many stories about, level 1s dying off. I have had one player in all of my DMing experience, level 1, get killed off kind of in that first battle, and yeah, they ended up making a new character. But keep going.
Yeah, what was I even saying?
Sorry, you almost died, and Dragon Heist, and...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too spoilery, but I just, took everything very seriously, and I was, reading up on all of my abilities, and all of my role-playing was, very, serious, and, all about the mission, and all that sort of stuff. But then, after that sort of faded away, it was maybe, another 8 or 10 months before I did a one-shot with some people up here, and then another one-shot, and then, it started becoming kind of a series of one-shots for a really long time up until now. And then I started playing with my friends from Anime Crime Family Con. And because of our dynamic, it started becoming a meme, meme characters all the time, because it was just one-shots. That's all we ever had time for. So it would just be very ridiculous characters. And my all-time favorite one had to be my monk with a -3 to intelligence.
But what was the wisdom?
I think I'm pretty sure it had nothing, no pluses or minuses. Okay. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain.
Okay.
It's been a bit, but and he had a boomerang, and at one point during the one shot, he was asked by the bard to open a door, and he proceeded to just punch it because he didn't know how to open it.
You went real hard on that.
I basically was like, this is Jason from The Good Place.
Yes.
With a boomerang.
Yes.
And that was one of my favorite things. And so it started to just become a thing of if it makes me laugh a little bit, it's really you're gonna have to pry it from my hands. If I can get a little bit of amusement, just a little store-bought serotonin, I'll be all in. So of course, when Doolittle came up,
I was gonna say, yeah, this is good warning for me. It's good to keep in mind.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, I was specifically called out for being chaotic.
Nothing wrong with chaotic. I like chaotic. As long as, as long as you're making big choices that, make sense for you. Yeah. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. So, okay, Dragon Heist. I love that. Have you ever run anything for D&D?
No,
have you
I haven't.
Do you have any desire to, or are you just not?
I've thought about it, and then I realized that if the second I even put that question out there to my friends, I'll just become a DM forever.
Yeah.
Because of course, the DM shortage.
Yeah. Look, it's funny because I truly like love being a DM more than playing most of the time. I like to play one shots, but we've kind of discovered, me and my gaming group, we've kind of discovered that the thing that I don't like is playing like a long campaign. Like I just my focus, it's ironic because it's the exact same that I ask from my players, but my personal focus as a player is not good because I want to be DMing. I just would rather be DMing. That being said, I think I would love for there to be more DMs in my life, just so that like more people can be doing more things at once, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I think I'll get a couple more games under my belt and see what happens.
Yeah. I have no
there.
doubt. Again, like I said before, your personality, it's gonna happen.
Oh jeez.
It's gonna happen whether you want to or not.
Oops, all chaos.
Yeah, I mean, have you tried any other what I call titter pigs?
Titter pigs.
TTRPGs? Have you tried any besides D&D?
It's really only ever been D&D. From what I can recall.
Yeah.
I feel like there might have been one, but I cannot think of the name.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple that I think you would love, especially knowing your love of, like...
Romanceable NPCs, you can say it.
What'd you say?
Romanceable NPCs, you can
Romanceable
say it.
NPCs, that's the best way to put it. I like that. There's a game called Monster Hearts. Have you heard of this?
Monster Hearts?
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
Where, there's a good chance, I think we're going to be playing it sometime in October.
Amaze.
But yeah, I think you would love it and be very good at it, because it's basically everybody plays like monsters, like werewolves, vampires, Frankenstein, I don't know, whatever you want it to be, but you're all like in high school, and it's like a high school teen drama, where like you are like fighting for love and power, and it's like,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by those kind of games, but I'm honestly like I'm extremely intimidated when it comes to running them, because I think what I've found about myself, at least at this stage of where I'm at, I like games that the game itself gives me structure when it comes to like action and stuff like that, but no structure when it comes to role play. And so there's other kinds of games though, like Monster Hearts, where like the role play is literally part of the mechanic, right? And so there's like things you'll like roll for, and I don't know, I think I'm not sure how to handle that as a DM quite yet. I don't know.
Practice makes perfect.
I don't do good with rules, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
You're like, no!
I'd rather kind of create my own thing a lot of the time. But yeah, practice makes perfect. I do need to get better at it, and I'd like to learn more. What was the other thing I was going to ask you about? So, Doolittle, talked about role play. This is why I should write things down ahead of time. Lists. Nope, got nothing. What are you gonna do on your stream tonight?
We're gonna be playing Mass Effect. I'm on Mass Effect 3 of the Legendary Edition, so we're in the big sad times, or getting to it. The big stress, big sad times. So it's a little less of me hitting on Liara every chance I get. Just kidding. It happens every stream.
Just kidding. It still happens.
It still happens. But if I remember correctly, I'm in for a big hurt soon. So
no, those games...
we'll see how I am by the end of the night tonight.
I may pop in and watch for a bit, because man, the nostalgia that comes up when I think about those games. I didn't play Andromeda. I didn't have an Xbox at that time, and so and I also just kind of fell out of video gaming for a while, but the trilogy, the initial trilogy, man, I guess I was in like high school when that finished, right? I think, and like the ability of like building relationships in that game is no joke. Like, it taught me things.
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's such a great well, and that's what's so memorable about those games, right? Is kind of your ability to build a crew and keep a loyal crew. It's fantastic. So, okay. No, never mind. You pretty much have. I was going to say, is there one character over others that you typically romance or that you typically...
It's always Liara.
Save?
It's always going to be Liara.
Now, do you always pick a specific, like, shepherd that you go back to every time?
I'm always Fem Shep. I love Bro Shep. Mark Mir is an incredible actor in person. But Jennifer Hale can read
Jennifer
anything
Hale's
to me until the end of time.
But do you go like
Renegade
more like,
or Paragon?
You know, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I couldn't remember the words. I was gonna say like soldier or that's not right.
Yeah. I tend to go more Paragon. I've yet to do a full Renegade run. I've done an all Paragon run.
Yes.
But no Renegade run. I'm scared too because I've been watching someone play it. And their shepherd looks terrifying in the second game. Like cracked glow stick kind of vibe, and that's, I don't know if I can look at that.
I think I always thought it was really lame of me, but I never chose Renegade like on any games, you know, like Fable, or I would always make like the quote unquote like right moral decisions and everything. Like I tried my best to like. And that's, again, it's kind of lame, but I mean, that's like, I feel like how I am as a person. I'm very Gryffindor, very like Leonardo, you know, of the Ninja Turtles. Like, I'm a rule follower, and I just said earlier I don't like rules. I don't like rules, but I do...
Because then you have to follow them.
Exactly! Because if you give me rules, I'm going to feel like I need to follow them.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big reason why I didn't pick Robin Hood, is that I was like, everyone knows who Robin Hood is.
Yeah. Yeah. More freedom with Doolittle.
I want to make it weird.
Amazing. Chat, do you have any questions or anything you want to throw Jess's way before I let them go to grab some din?
Yeah. I had to actually cook tonight. It's going to be...
Ooh, what you cooking?
I think I'm making like a panko crusted chicken with green beans and something else.
Are you saying you think because it's like a HelloFresh meal or something?
Yeah,
or...
it's HelloFresh.
Yeah, HelloFresh. I eat that 3 times a week.
Yeah, it's our first time getting it because we keep eating the same recipes over and over again. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, you gotta diversify.
Yeah.
You
just made that one? Nice. Twinsies.
What's your...
we're eating dinner together.
Ecat wants to know what your favorite anime is.
I don't watch anime. I think I'm legally obligated to say Attack on Titan just because my first guess that I handled, because I used to handle actors at conventions, is Chuna Nishimura, and she voices Mikasa. So I think I'm legally obligated to say
you are
her show.
Good answer. That's the correct answer. There was only one.
Or else she'll punch me in the face.
She will.
I believe that's what I signed.
Yeah. That's good. I watch, compared to people who like say they watch anime, I don't watch anime, but I do watch some anime. I haven't gotten as into it as I think a lot of my friends. But I think my favorite anime, if I had to choose one, would be My Hero Academia.
Oh, nice. We just had their cast at our convention.
Oh, sweet.
So it's kind of wild. So I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah. That's
a lot of people
really
just
cool.
saying a lot of things to me that I don't understand.
So like,
now I know.
The latest episode is out, and I see it on Hulu, and I can't bring myself to watch it. And it's not because I don't like subtitles. I don't mind subtitles, but I've fallen in love with the dubs, like with the voice acting of the American cast, that
Oh, amazing.
I just want to wait for them.
They're awesome.
I just want to wait for their dubs.
And they're aggressively talented. I love them.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah. Apparently they just came to Kansas City, but I missed Comic-Con that week because I was moving and also COVID. But yeah.
Yeah. I know. I stayed like 15 million feet away from people pretty successfully that whole weekend.
Yeah. I'll go to a restaurant or something now, but that freaked me out. I don't know. Nothing against anybody who went. Like, that's awesome. It's my own personal, like, internal, like, my mind is like, I can't. That's too many people in one big room. Anyway. That's a good place to end. So
Just screams. Detached screaming.
Yeah.
That's how I felt going to Costco. Oh,
Going to Costco. Yes.
I miss Costco.
I
need chicken bake.
I want a Costco card.
You want
I need
a Costco
to get
card?
one. Yeah.
You should get one.
Thank you.
I hope you get that. I want that for you.
I will. Hey, so again, if you haven't yet, go watch the first episode of Tales from the Public Domain.
Yes.
Jess is fantastic as Dr. Doolittle. We've also got the Tooth Fairy up in there. We've got Johnny Appleseed. And then this week, we're going to introduce our fourth character, Hercules, which should be interesting to see how we throw him in and kind of mix things up a little bit. But man, I'm having a blast with this campaign so far.
It's so
and
good.
It's only going to get better. So do check that out. Also, if you're free, what time do you start streaming? Like in an hour?
In about 2 hours, so 8 p.m. Pacific.
8 p.m. Pacific, so
Yeah.
10 p.m. No, wait. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
8 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, that's right. 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I can do math. Shh.
It's 2, Justin. It's 2.
10 p.m. 10 p.m. Central. But yeah, 8 p.m. Pacific. Go watch Cute Jess Go. They're gonna be playing some Mass Effect. I'm gonna watch while I go to sleep tonight.
Maybe do a cry.
Yeah.
Maybe have a drink.
Do a cry, have a drink. I think I'll do those things while I watch you. That'll be fun.
There you go.
And just go give them some love and follow and yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me. It's been a fun hour and I appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, see y'all Friday. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.